Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I would say I hope you had a good weekend, but after that shambles of performance and result on Saturday, I very much doubt that you have. "48 hours after the game, and I'm still very much fuming and angry about that performance and result. Just unacceptable. Disgraceful in every aspect. Disgraceful. And we're going to get into it. Brutal honesty, no filter, and no holding back with what I think. And if you're one of those that fit into that fake positivity bubble of being positive for the sake of it, then maybe this video isn't for you, because people like that just send you abuse because they can't accept anybody's different opinion. But look, we're going to get straight into it. Drop a like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. I'm sure you've got a lot to say about this game. Because, I kind of was going to do this yesterday, and I thought, yeah, I just need a little bit more time. But I don't even think it's made that much difference, because it's still not great to kind of process right now. But look, yeah, let's get into it. So the starting 11, I'm laughing right now, but trust me, I'm sick and tired of the same predictable bullshit lineup that we've had to endure since Lee Grant's come into this club. I'm sorry, there's no hiding place anymore. There is no hiding place. We'll go through the team, and I'll go through my, you know what I'm going to say, though. Yeah, everybody out there said the same thing about this starting lineup. It was pathetic. Lee Nichols in goal, as we expected anyway. Back four, Sorensen on the right. The two central defenders of Lowe, and my good old friend Wallace, who, I'm just completely baffled by this. Murray Wallace came in to be a squad player. So when he's needed, he will step in. Not when we've got other options on the bench that can come in and play ahead of him. We had Josh Feeney sat on the bench. Am I missing something? He's come on loan to play football, and he should be playing ahead of Murray Wallace in all due respects. As a young lad, he's come in and he's actually done fairly well when we've seen him. But yet he keeps picking the same predictable rubbish every single week. Murray Wallace is not a regular starter every single week. Why can't he see that? Why is he being so stubborn in his ways? It is ridiculous. So I'm sorry, putting him there, and surprise, I actually said this on the preview show on Friday. I said, I bet he's going to start Wallace, isn't he? I bet he's going to do it. And he did it. That's because he's so predictable. He's so predictable. So I don't know why I'm surprised, but it doesn't make any easier when you see the lineup and you see that he's on the team sheet, when you've got the likes of Feeney sat on the bench. If we weren't planning to play Feeney this season, then send him back now. Or we shouldn't even have signed him on loan in the first place. He should have gone somewhere else. If you're not going to play him. And then you've got Rowan on the left, which, yeah, we're going to get into this game. I'm not going to say anything about the game just yet. The same predictable midfield. Surprise, isn't it? Surprise. Herbie Kane, his golden boy, and Ryan Ledson in there. Both can't play together. Both the same type of player, but keep picking him, Grant. Don't worry, keep picking him in there. Keep costing us more points in matches. Why not? Utterly embarrassing. Then further forward, if I speak, I'm actually just gonna rage even more. Ruben Ruskin on the left. Yeah, he's no joke. After what we saw last week from this guy, and he has the cheek to start him again in this game. Are you actually having a laugh? What are we doing here? What are we doing? He should not have been starting after last week. I'm sorry, and he hasn't been great for weeks. But yet this manager keeps picking the same players every single week, and then we're expected to just sit there and say, "Oh, don't worry, it's fine." No, it's not going to happen. Absolutely ridiculous decision. He did bring Castledine in, which I was happy about, but it's a shame he didn't bring in his other friend in there on the left in Alves, who for some reason missed out. Why did he miss out? Are we not rewarding players for playing well here? Is that what we're doing? Is that what he's doing? Because for me, Alves came on last weekend. He made an impact, made an instant impact, got a goal, played well, and the following week he put him on the bench. I mean, how's that fair? How is that fair? That's not how this works. Play players that do things for you, that are positive, that actually contribute in matches. Alves couldn't have done any more last weekend. He came and he scored, and he looked bright. He always wanted the ball, always drove at the defenders, always trying to make things happen. But yeah, he goes with Ruskin again. I just don't understand. I'm sorry. It's just ridiculous. And then you've got Harness on the right, who, for me, I just despair for me. I've given him time, Harness, and we're going to get into it in a bit, but I don't really think he's the answer on that right-hand side either, because from what we've seen, and I'll put that out there after what we saw on Saturday. And then he went for Joe Taylor up front. The bench, Liverland, Kasumu, Fine, Radulovic, May, Alves, and Redmond. So yeah, when you're putting players on the bench that are performing for you, it's not going to do that player any favors. No, you're supposed to reward players for coming off the bench and making him, or reward players with starts every week if they continue to play well. Not do the complete opposite this manager's doing. So yeah, that's kind of my little rant about the lineup, which I don't even know why I'm ranting about the lineup, guys, because it's the same every week, isn't it? I sit there and look at the lineup and think, what are you doing? What are you actually doing here? Why are you continuously playing the same players that are just not performing and not getting the right balance in that midfield? The midfield wins you games, and if you don't get the midfield right, then you're in for a long afternoon. So it seems this manager doesn't seem to know. He doesn't seem to be learning his lessons. But look, the game, first 15 minutes, I thought we actually played decent. Not good, but we played decent. We one-touch football. We were getting forward, getting a few, shots off, which they were blocking every time. Just shows who wanted the game more. Certainly wasn't us, was it? Getting a few corners in there, but the reality is when you put in somebody on corners that that have made horrendous crosses from the very start of the season, you're not really giving yourself a chance of scoring. We've got 6'5" Joe Lowe coming up for the corner, and these corners aren't even beating the first man, and it happens far too often. Herbie Kane should not be on corners. He shouldn't even be starting, let alone be on corners, but he shouldn't be on corners. He cannot cross the ball for Toffee from those corners. So why are we continuously having him on them? And it's up to our captain. Yes, our captain, Ryan Ledson. I know he doesn't look like he's a captain, but he's supposed to be the captain. He should be saying, "Hang on a minute. If you're gonna have one more go at this. If you don't get it right this time, then we're gonna have to change it." That's called taking responsibility, leadership. But no, just continuously put him on, and we will just not get anywhere with the corners. And then Bradford score completely on the run of play, and Bobby Poynton. And from that moment on, we'd gone from playing forward and playing one-touch football to going back in our shells again. And heads down, and it's just like, where is the reaction? I thought this team was a group of winners. We had a strong mentality. Maybe these guys aren't as strong as what I thought they would be in terms of mentality. Where's the leaders on that pitch? As I've already alluded to, Ryan Ledson, I'm sorry, he's as quiet as a mouse on the pitch by the looks of it. And there's nobody else. There's no leaders on that pitch. So he's back to last season again, is it? Have we got the same sorry bunch that we had last season? In terms of mentality. And yeah, from that moment on, he was just utter garbage. And what we saw at the end of that first half was nothing short of a disgrace. It's unacceptable, actually. 1-0 down, going into the injury time at half in the first half, and we concede 2 goals in the space of a minute. Are we kidding ourselves here? Unacceptable. Any leadership, any kind of mentality, we would be rallying together. Let's get in at our time, 1-0 down, and let's regroup. But no, the same as what has happened against Barnsley, against Blackpool. Let's just concede quick fire goals, shall we? Let's just give the team a couple more goals, shall we? Utterly shambolic from this team. It is. I'm going to call it out for what it is. The reality is that we can't afford to be doing that. And it's not just happened once. It's not just happened twice. Now it has happened 3 times in a row in an away game. Why? What's happening? And every single time our manager's coming out and saying, we're going to address it, we're going to sort it, we're going to do that. You haven't addressed it, mate. You have not addressed it. So stop waffling. You can talk the talk. We can see that. But let's walk the walk as well, shall we? Instead of waffling, telling us he's going to sort it, he's going to look into it, he's going to address. It hasn't been addressed. So the honeymoon period's over. Sort it out. All 3 goals in that first half were avoidable. Utterly shambolic defending, midfield nowhere to be seen, but it's no surprise. You put Ledson and Kane in there, and both of them were terrible. And you put a defence like, you have Murray Wallace at the back, alongside Rowan, who was dreadful as well. And half your defence are missing. So, I just don't even know. And you know what? That first half were bad. But you go into that second half, and you expect a big reaction to show some fight, some passion. And what did we get? We got nothing. What was said at half time again? This manager, is he actually telling them what's going on in this game? He's actually telling them straight up what to pull their act together? Or is he just talking in a nice, soft voice and letting them get away with everything? Because to me, it seems like he just goes in there and he's not saying some hard truths that need to be said at halftime. The amount of games that we've gone in at halftime when it's been a shocking first half, clearly, he's not saying what needs to be said. We come out in that second half. We made 1 substitution. Are you crazy? 1 substitution. After what we saw in that first half. Let's reshape the defence. Let's do something. But no, he doesn't do that. He just puts 1 substitution on. And there we are. Same predictable rubbish. 1 substitution. If he makes a substitution at half-time, it's usually just the 1. Never 2. Never 3. You know, if you make a couple of substitutions, it's sending out a big warning to those players in that starting 11. If you don't perform, you're coming out. But unfortunately, when you're just making 1 substitution after the performance that we saw in that first half, players out, it's not sending any message out to anybody, really. So, yeah, And then, like I said, Bradford were comfortable. They were dictating the game. We didn't do anything. You know what? You know what really frustrates me about this is that why is it we are trying to play out from the back end? Why are we trying to play this tippy-tappy football constantly? Overplaying from the back. Takes us, we're literally making 10 passes before we actually get the ball forward. Why? Why are we trying to be Barcelona here? We're playing in League One. Switch the game up. But we don't. We just keep doing the same thing over and over again. I just have no words. Redmond came on and made his debut, of course. And yes, he scored. But I'm sorry, I just can't find any positives from the game. And like I say, it finished 3-1, and it was just embarrassing what we saw out there. And to be quite honest with you, those players should hang their heads in shame after what they produced. The reality is, as I've already said, looks like the same loser mentality as last season. Nothing's changed. And if this continues with the lack of the lack of tactical nous, because the tactics were dreadful in this game. Again, the team selections were dreadful in this. The team selection were dreadful in this game. The in-game management was dreadful in this game. If it doesn't change, then I'm sorry, this club is not going anywhere. And like I said, the pressure is on. As I said earlier, the honeymoon period's over for Grant now. He's got all of his players in, heavily backed, and he has to deliver. And I said it at the start of the season, going into the season, automatic promotion has to be the aim, and if it isn't, then it'll be a big disappointment. At the moment, we're nowhere near that. So that's how I see it. You know, did this team go into this game realizing it was a derby? Because they didn't seem to have an idea it was. You know what I mean? It was. This means a lot. It's a West Yorkshire derby, and these players turn up and disgrace themselves and embarrass themselves like that. Not that they care, because they don't seem to have any shame. Every single time, one step forward, two steps back. And I just think it will take a long time to get over this defeat and get the fans back on side. I think the fans are already starting to turn a little bit now, I'm afraid, because I don't really think you can blame them. This is 3 away. This is 3 away games, and we've conceded 3 goals. 9 goals in total. The same type of performances. The same quick-fire goals conceded once we score, once we concede. It's another one that's following. Another one that's following. Utterly disgraceful. And I've said it in previous weeks, I've said it in previous weeks. Wholesale changes have to be made for next weekend. I don't want to hear any excuses anymore. And these players have got a lot of making up to do as well. And look, I am just feeling pretty demoralised right now. Like I said, to say Grant is all about attacking and exciting football, I'm not seeing it. All I see is the same football that Duff played last season. Sideways, backwards, poor pass. How poor was our passing in this game? So it's just rinse and repeat. Sideways, backwards, poor pass, lose the ball, defend, rinse and repeat all the time. Hope to win it back and start again. That's all it is. It's all hope. So yeah, I don't really think I've got anything else to say. Really, I'm just really, really angry. And the reality is, if you look at it this way, we asked for a team going into this season with heart and guts. We hope for it. And unfortunately, in the biggest test this season, when it's needed the most, not one player looked up for it today. Not today, on Saturday. Not one player. No battling or anything. And as I said, the honeymoon period is over for Lee Grant. Wants to play out from the back, so picks Wallace and Rowan, who, by the way, as expected in this match, Ruskin did nothing. Rowan, wow. He is, I don't know what's going on, but that was a shocking performance, that. And when you're going for the ratings now, and you're looking at every single season, and not one player is average. That is not that just speaks volumes. Harness, you know what I mean? Miles off it again. And when you're rewarding players that have played terribly and you're getting bad performances, it should. When you're rewarding players after playing badly previously, it's no surprise they play badly the following game, because they know they can get away with it, because his manager doesn't seem to have the bottle to actually drop these players that he loves. For some reason, he loves them. He's got his favourites, so we can see that. For me, this result, it's squarely on Lee Grant's shoulders, and today has shown that he's lacking. Saturday showed he's lacking. I don't really know what to say, guys. We could go through the ratings and bore you with those, but is it really appropriate to go through the ratings when, like I said, not one player gets above a 5? We could do them. Lee Grant 5, Sorensen 3, Lowe 4, Wallace 2, Rowan 2, Ledson 3, Kane 4. That's been generous, probably deserves a 3. Harness 4. Castledine, at least he tried to make things happen like he always does. But again, he can't do it on his own. Probably give him a 5. Roos going to 2. Taylor a 5. And yeah, the list goes on. This is going to be an incredibly long week. And things have to change, and they have to change quickly. There's no sugarcoating this anymore. I've had 3 away performances like this, and results, and that's it. I just feel completely deflated. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest with you. I just feel completely deflated. It's going to be a long week until the next game, after what we saw. And I expect, I don't even know if I expect anymore. Can we expect it? Because this manager is proven that he's seemingly not up to it, and these players are not up to it either. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to go on anymore. I think I said enough. Just an absolute horror show. A horror show. And every single one of those players, you've got a lot of making up to do. And this manager needs to book his ideas up and quick, because I'm not buying all these excuses. He's a new manager, give him time, blah, blah. No, we haven't got time. Football doesn't stand still for new managers, I'm afraid. You have to get results. And away from home, it has been shocking. And even at home, we've won some games and I thought we haven't really played that well here. So it hasn't been great. He's been heavily backed. There's no excuses, nowhere to hide. Talk the talk all you want, but it's time to really walk the walk and show us rather than talking a lot. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. Take care.